Hey guys, burnout is a common thing that happens to all of us, not just on the homestead. So today we're going to address that on Raising Oklahoma. Hi guys, welcome back to Raising Oklahoma. Today we're talking about something that is kind of heavy on a lot of people's hearts. So we want to talk about today is burnout. It's something that every homesteader is going to face at some point, and I think it's important that we do talk about it honestly, because here's the truth: it's going to come. You can prepare all you want, uh, you can cover every detail, and it'll still hit you one day. Uh, Being ready, knowing that it's going to be part of your journey, that's what makes the difference.
It's not about pretending everything's perfect. It's about preparing your mind and your heart for the days when you simply don't want to do it.
It's it's just like a 9 to 5 job. Some mornings you don't want to go, but you get your butt out of bed, you get your coffee, and you head into work. And you know what? You don't want to feed the animals sometimes because it's cold out, it's raining, whatever, and you got to get up and do what you got to do. It's it's just part of the life you're building.
For women, I think of it kind of like pregnancy. Slow build, 9 months of change and discomfort grows harder the closer that you get to the end. Then comes the pain and the exhaustion, and that moment when you think you simply can't go any further. But you do, because the reward, that beautiful new life, is worth every bit of it.
And for men, I can relate it to, say, a big project or even a tough workout in the gym. You push through the soreness, the exhaustion, and you know what's waiting on the other side. Your strengths and accomplishments and your growth, and sometimes you just have to show up. That's all there is to it. Um, you just have to push it as hard as you can. Sometimes the days will be easy, sometimes they won't. So, um, preparing yourself and your mind is pretty much everything. So you've got to remind yourself that this is not a hobby. This is your life. This is a lifestyle. A hobby is something you get to quit when you get tired. But this lifestyle, not so much. Um, so I want you to be prepared, and by that we've got a few topics that we want to touch on. Point number one: you do it because your kids are watching. You know, they'll learn how to push through the hard times by watching you do it. Um, you're not just building a homestead; you're building character in your children.
Point number two, when it comes to men and women, we were designed differently on purpose. Men are built to carry the heavy load, and women are built to carry the emotional load. When the stress of homesteading weighs heavy on your mind, the bills, breakdowns, the unknowns, lean on your wife's ability to multitask and see the bigger picture. And when the wind is cold, the sun is gone, and there's still chores to do, that's when men step up. They were built for the heavy stuff. They can carry it. And when both of us carry our part, we balance each other out.
You know, I think about the old west sometimes. There's a certain um, correlation between homesteading and the old west, and my mind often goes there. So there were people that lived through the dust and the danger and the lonely, lonely trails. Okay, there were guys like Wyatt Earp and Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone, and the list goes on and on. And they weren't legends because it was so easy. They became legends because their life was so hard. They faced things that would break most people. They faced hunger, cold, loss, danger, and still kept going. They didn't ask for comfort. They just kept showing up. You know, that's what built their names into the history books.
Exactly. They weren't chasing fame or fortune, they were chasing a purpose, protecting their families, building new lives, carving something out of nothing. And every hardship that they faced became part of the legacy that we, as homesteaders or people who choose this lifestyle, kind of look up to now.
It's the same thing and the same grit that we need today. Even if our frontier looks a little different, You know, it's all about building something real with your own two hands and refusing to quit when it gets hard. It's about building something that your family will have for generations on. Those men didn't have it easy, but they built a world that many generations have respected, and at the same and that same kind of strength, that kind of faith and persistence. That's what we're building here too.
Hard times don't just reveal character, they really create it. And that's something we all need more of today. When I think about strength and perseverance, I don't just see frontier men, though. There are women throughout history and in scripture who were the backbone of their families and communities, quietly strong, steady, and essential. Take Laura Ingalls Wilder, for example. She grew up on the frontier, working alongside her family in tough, unpredictable times. And then there's also Abigail Adams. During her husband John Adams' long absences, she ran the household and she cared for their children, all while offering him wisdom and guidance from afar. And then there's Ruth from the Bible. Her story is one of loyalty, faith, and perseverance. After losing literally everything, she chose to stay by Naomi's side, leaving behind her homeland and comfort to walk a harder path. These women didn't seek fame or recognition. They were strong because their families depended on them and because they refused to give up when life got hard. And that's the kind of quiet, faithful strength that still inspires me and most of the women out here today. The same strength we need when homesteading challenges us to push through.
Burnout doesn't mean you're failing. Don't get that twisted. Okay? It means that you've been working hard for something and that matters, and it's a sign that you care enough to pour yourself into this life.
And when those moments come, remember why you started. Take a breath, lean on each other, keep showing up, because every small act adds up to something beautiful.
This life is simple. It's not always easy, but it is simple. So, if in fact you are facing this kind of burnout, it's going to happen. Be prepared for it. And some of the ways that you can prepare for it is find yourself a quiet spot, somewhere that you can just go and just do something that you enjoy. For me, I go off into the workshop and I can do stained glass, or I can do leather work, or I can play my guitar.
For me, I like to sit down and watercolor paint, or I just sit down in the garden with the kids, or I will just go sit with the chickens and have some chicken or goat therapy.
It's amazing how this life that you're building can also be the remedy for the stress that comes with it. Find your happy in what you're doing. All right, for us together, it's taking time with the kids, and we may take the morning and go fishing. We may take the afternoon and go play hide and seek in the woods or tag, or just play some board games in the house.
Or we may just go on a walk through the property or sit with the animals. It's easy to forget that the whole reason we do this is so that we can have a piece of peace out here away from the world, and we forget to take it in. We get caught up in doing the chores and making the food, or getting laundry done, or making sure you have water, or making sure that the fence is fixed and the animals aren't trying to kill themselves. And you forget the bigger picture as to why you started this lifestyle, the whole reason why you started it to begin with.
For you, it may be different. For us, it was to step out of a system that, one, we don't trust, two, we don't feel is right and proper, and three, to spend more time with the family. Okay? After 30 years of driving trucks, I watched my kids grow up in photographs, and I left my wife home alone week after week after week. the heck kind of life is that? So I will trade a few less dollars in the bank and a whole lot more work as long as I get to spend it with my family. Find your reason and don't forget it.
Work towards it, and remember that hard times will come, and sometimes you do get worn out. Get a list of priorities of what needs to be taken care of so that your animals can survive, and then remember to take time off sometimes.
Take care of yourself as well as you take care of your animals. Don't forget to give yourself a sip of coffee or tea, a little extra downtime. Okay? It's not lazy, it's self preservation. Okay? So if you've learned anything from this video, please like and subscribe. Go ahead.
And remember to share with somebody who you think needs encouragement, or save it to your list so that when you have those down days, you can remember yourself.
Thanks again for visiting. I'm Kevin. This is Charlotte, and we are Raising Oklahoma. We'll see you next time.